Brad, so now that we're here, let's get started. Let know for the four people in the world that don't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a guy who's now 44 years old, and the truth is, up until about I was 31, I never really achieved much in my life. I was always the nearly man, the guy who sort of had a run at it but never quite achieved anything. And then about 31, I decided that I was going to start my own business, and I walked out of a job, told my employer to shove his job up his arse, 25,000 UK pounds in debt, a wife that wanted me to go and get a proper job. But I went for it and started my own business off, and fast forward 3 months, I'm delivering pizzas to keep that business afloat. And nothing prepared me for the reality of what it's like to start a business off. I thought it was all private number plates, 50 cent spinny chairs, and it's not. Like low sales, no sales, depression. So it culminated in me having to readjust and actually start a different business. And I started a business called For Networking. I looked at the entire business networking scene in the UK, and to me it was very sleepy, very formal, self-indulgent. It didn't put the members first. I looked at the credible alternative in the UK, all these networks. I came up with a network called For Networking. And that network, when I started 11 years ago, today, it's the birthday today, yeah. Wow. 11, I opened up those words at 8 o'clock in the morning, probably 6 hours ago. Welcome to the future of business networking. And I always remember there was the table, 8 tables of 10 or whatever in the room, and there's a table back left. Started laughing and sniggering. And that sticks with 11 years on. It's funny because it's not the 9 tables of people that weren't laughing that you remember. I think we're all guilty of that. Anyway, fast forward now 11 years, and that network, For Networking, we've run over 5,000 business networking meetings across the UK. And it's the only one in the UK where, as a member, you can attend any networking meeting. So next week, I'm doing something called the Founders Tour, and I'm going to be going on the road, and I'll be visiting 12 For Networking meetings around the UK in 1 week. So I did that. And I then decided that probably a few years in that I'm going to go and write a book. And I decided to go seek out some advice from a literary agent. And those people said to me, Brad, you don't have the right qualifications to write a book. You've got no experience in writing books, and I don't think it's right for you. And also, you can't call it the title that you wanted to. I said, well, why not? He said, because it's offensive. You won't get it published, and you won't get it in Waterstones. So my first business book called Get Off Your Arse, I self-published it, and I also got it into Waterstones, to see the chief buyer, and I managed to persuade him to stock it. So first and foremost, I've got no qualifications. I had no working capital. I had no money when I started my business off. And that's a multi-million-pound business now. I'm now an author. I'm the highest-rated business author on Amazon. I've got 4 business books now, and I'm also a motivational speaker. I get booked by the likes of JCB, Bentley, the NHS. The business show, to speak at all these events. And this is what's interesting about this, Angel, is that I'm still the same guy that I always was, right? The only thing that's changed, my ingredients are the same, the recipe has changed. That's it. And I think that there's a real lesson to every single one of us here, that we might all not be, Alan Sugar or Richard Branson or Trump, but you can be a better version of you. And that, I think, so in essence, that's my life. That's my success story anyway in the last 12 years. But prior to that point, I've done 4 years on the dole on benefits. I've been addicted to drugs twice. I've got no qualifications. My dad left when I was 6 months old. So I always say to people, what's your excuse? Because often we blame that table in our life, the back table, and say, well, the reason that I can't perform as an individual is because I got locked in a coal shed when I was 7, or I got bullied as a child, or I wear specs, or whatever it be. And we give ourselves these excuses. So in essence, that's me. I'm an entrepreneur, a true entrepreneur.
You said a couple of things. Well, 11 years is a long time. 11 years is a long time. And you also said you're the highest rated business book author. I got your 4 books. I'm reading. I bought the first 2 when I met you in the London Real Academy. Then Then I've got the new one that I started reading. Awesome book. Awesome book. Very motivational. But you said, you know, how you end up being UK's #1 motivational business speaker?
So if you're in a night, okay, and you see a £20 note on the floor, okay, if you choose not to pick it up, don't complain when I go ahead and go and pick that £20 note up. If you've seen the £20 notes on the floor and you, oh look, there's a £20 note there, should have gone and do it, should have gone and do it. Now if I said to you, I am the greatest, I am the greatest, which box am I referring to?
You?
No. If I said I'm the greatest, which boxer am I referring to?
Boxer. Oh, Muhammad Ali? Yeah.
Muhammad, the greatest of all time. Now the reason that Muhammad Ali was, that we refer to Muhammad Ali 40 years on as the greatest of all time is because he referred to himself as that, right? Muhammad Ali got beat 5 times. Yet if Floyd Mayweather tried to become the greatest, everyone would say, no way, Floyd, not a chance, right? Floyd Mayweather hasn't been beaten. Yeah, he can't call himself the greatest. So what I did with that, there's no league table for motivational speakers, right? There's no league table. They never existed. And I'll tell you something. I'm the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. There's no one else who's a motivational business speaker. There's one, right? What I've managed to do is I've created myself a niche that never existed. And then all of a sudden, when I call myself the UK's #1 motivational business speaker, my competitors start saying, who do you think you are calling yourself the UK's #1 motivational business speaker? I said, I don't call myself the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. Yes, you do. No, I don't. UK's #1 motivational business speaker. And if I'm not the UK's #1 motivational business speaker, I want to know who is. Get me a name. You go and get me a name now, right now, and you tell me why they are the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. Do they speak for the NHS? Do they speak at the business show, the largest business show in Europe as the keynote speaker? Do they have 4 business books? Do they speak for London Hill Academy? Do they speak for the NHS? Do they speak for Bentley? Do they speak for JC? No, they don't. So therefore, that is why I'm the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. It's a category that never existed until I made it. And every single person that wants to come and claim that top spot can't, because I'm already there.
You said that if the person sees the £20 note in the floor and don't pick it up, and you go behind and you pick it up, then the other person should not complain. But I think, for my observation, a lot of people don't pick up the note just so they can complain. What are your thoughts about it? Yeah, just people are we completely different, or is the media, or why you think is so much excuse today?
Angel, I think some people are never happier than when they just miss the bus. Some people love complaining, and I was that man. I was the man who used to look at someone in the car and go, it's okay for them. How can they afford that? Yeah, well, it's just it was in the right place at the right time. I was that man. Until I decided that I was in the right place at the right time, and I started making my own destiny. Now, here's the thing. I say that to be provocative, the UK's #1 motivational speaker. And I said to my wife at the time, I said, watch this, what happens now. I'm going to refer to myself as the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. Don't Google it. I urge your viewers to go and Google the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. You'll find 20 or 30 pages of Google with the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. Me. I created future history. When I opened up the words before networking 11 years ago today, I opened up the words, welcome to the future of business networking. Did I honestly believe it or not? I don't know. Misguided self-belief, but the first person you've got to convince of your brilliance. And if you can't convince yourself of your brilliance, don't get upset with other people of your brilliance. And they go, well, actually, I don't get it. So the first person you've got to convince is yourself.
So if I'm going to convince, if let's say I'm giving myself excuses, which I'm not, what would be one thing that I can say to myself to switch, to stop giving excuses and say, you know what, I gotta own it. It's on me.
Okay, so this is what I've done. I've thrown the switch in my life. So it's a bit like a train on a track. I've moved the switch and said this side rather than this way. You're not on rails. You can change your direction. But what we've got to do is, like, if you think about if you come at my office, right? You would get in the car and you would type in on a GPS the sat nav where you was going, right? And then what would happen is you'd have a rough idea where you're going in the sat nav. It'd say you come on the A5 or whatever. But all you would do is focus on the next 200 foot. Changes with traffic and lights. But what we end up doing in life is we've got this big idea. Oh, I'm going to be a success. But we don't look at the 200 foot ahead. So what I've done with my life, and I'm urging any single person who's watching this, is to get yourself a short-term plan, a medium-term plan, and a long-term plan. Right? So a long-term plan is you want to create a national network. The short-term plan is what you need to do is get your first group moving, then a second one, then a third one. But what everyone tends to do is dream so big, it becomes a nightmare. And it's so unwieldy, so big that you can't even digest it. So you've got to have 3 separate goals: a short, a medium, and long-term goal. But you know what? This isn't about you becoming Alan Sugar or Richard Branson. This is about you or anyone who's listening to this being a better version of themselves. Because if you think about a 31-year-old delivering pizzas, right? I'm still the same guy who rang doorbells and delivered the pizza. So what's changed? Me. I've thrown the switch and said, you know what? It's no longer. I've got myself out of this short term. Everything was focused on the short term. And the reason from the short term to medium and long term is a direct correlation between me and my boy who's in there called Ben, who was born. So for the first time in my life, it was no longer about me. It was about someone that I loved and someone that I needed to make a positive difference about.
What motivates you, Brad?
Making a positive difference. Making a positive difference.
That where do you think that passion it comes from?
CV, my curriculum vitae, my resume. I should have been a bank robber, right? But I changed, and this is what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to give people not only hope, but a direction that they can be better versions of themselves. I'm living proof of that. I'm living proof that you can turn your life around. But it's going to be it's going to be an arduous process. And the sooner you start a long and arduous process, the sooner you can get to where you need to be. But to get to C, where you want to be in life, you've got to go by A and B. And A and B is the tough shit. A and B is the bit where actually you think, can I really go on? And that's what I've done when I'm delivering pizzas, when I've got the wife telling me to go and get a proper job, when I've got 25 grand in debt, when I've got the bank squeezing down my throat, telling me that they need the money, and I had no money. You know, when I've got a mortgage going out in 3 days' time, I've got no money. That's A and B. When you're tempted to go, you know what, I'm going to go pull away from here and go and get back to short term, go and get a job, and then get myself out of this short term pain.
Let's switch gears a little bit. There is this organization called Toastmasters. They teach leadership and communication, and I go to meetings and I just to improve my public speaking, and I ask a few seasoned members, people they've been there for 8, 12, 15 years, if they've done any paid public speaking, and they all say no. And they're working towards achieving this, create this mission. And I've listened to a few of them, and they have amazing messages. But what do you think is the problem? What do you think is the most common problem with these public speakers today?
So the problem with stuff like Toastmasters is it's just people who haven't done it telling people who haven't done it how to do it, right? I get paid lots and lots of money to go speak at these global brands. I've never been to a Toastmasters in my life. I've had no formal training in my life. Yet why is it that I'm getting booked ahead of all these people? You go on Google and see my events calendar. I'm speaking in the next 2 weeks, next 4 weeks, 16 times. 16. So this is what I'm about, is that people look at me because I'm wearing trainers and t-shirt and I look like a drug dealer. They think that actually somewhere along the way, I don't know what I'm talking about. Right? So what happens is in business, people spend so much time being formal, so much time being business-like, that they slow down the process and they miss opportunities because they're so fucking busy being professional. Now, if I turned up at Toastmasters, they'd look at me like a piece of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. Who's this guy? Not dressed appropriately. And that's the problem we've got. People who have never done it, trying to teach people who have never done it how to do it. I've done it.
That's an excellent point. That's when it comes to the business side, to getting paid. That's right there. How do you prepare for a speech?
So when I speak to my wife, right, I don't have a list of things that I need to say to her. So, what's for dinner? Brilliant. And how did you prepare that? You know. So when you know what you're talking about, you don't need to prepare beyond a cursory bit of preparation, right? Because I tell you something, as a speaker, you can go and speak today. These 16 gigs, I can go and speak it 16 times. And then, you met me at London Real Academy. I didn't go my way. I was not comfortable for whatever reason. Things didn't go my way. That's cool. But I've done thousands of times, and I'll tell you what an expert is. An expert is someone that has made all the mistakes in a particular niche field. I've made them all. And I believe that that's what allows me to prepare, is I've done it 1,000 times. If you've got to do a speech, which I did years ago, to my friend, my best friend, I died as a speaker. Absolutely died. So no amount of preparation can prepare you for game day. You look at the Super Bowl. You can prepare all day long, and you can think you've got it all sussed, and then bang, things change. So you've got to be changed. So I do something called Grad Camp, which is my Be a Better Speaker course. And I talk about the preparation that you need to do and how you do that. And it's, you know, sort of simple as just saying, hey, guess what? Have a cue card. In essence, you have 20, 30 bullet points. That's probably the easiest way to prepare for a speech. But there's no getting around it, that you need to dance. In order for you to be a speaker success, you've got to dance stage. And you've got to be willing to in the mouth and get back up and go again.
Do you still get the butterflies?
Do you still get the what?
The butterflies, you know, the
So it's bizarre. Sometimes you can have 1,000 people there, nothing. Then you go into a room with 25 people. Yeah, it's odd. And I tell you something, me sharing what I'm sharing right now, most normal speakers wouldn't share this. Absolutely, right? And you never quite get over it. And there's no rhyme or reason as to why that is. You could do 16 gigs, and one of them is just not right. It's scared to death. I have no idea. So once you realise that speakers at the top flight of speaking, the profession, get the same things, you can relax and understand it's not just you.
When you started, that you didn't have a lot of people behind you, but you had the For Networking organization. But how do you, if you didn't have that big organization, what would you have done differently to promote yourself as a speaker?
I'd do exactly what I've done already, which is be fundamentally different. Because there's no point in wearing a nice crisp and being a motivational speaker if I was wearing a nice crisp suit and being a motivational speaker. You need a reason. iPhone? Are you in the iPhone? Are you in the iPhone?
Yes. Well, right now, I just finished last Friday. So yeah, I'm done.
Right. So I can never have any heritage in the United States Air Force. None. I have none of that. So if it comes to me having a motivational speaker fight, right, against Brad Burton, the entrepreneur who delivered pizzas, versus someone who's done X amount of years in the United States Air Force, depending on what the audience want, if they want someone who's delivered pizzas and it looks like a drug dealer, then they choose me. So you've got to find your niche. You've got to dominate the niche, which is what I've done.
Dominate the niche. Yes, that's something that, in my case, I'm gonna start looking when I move back to the States down a few months from today, like in the summer. So that's something that I have to look for. But let me ask you, let's switch to social media because you are pretty active on social media, especially on Twitter. What is your favorite social media?
What is my favorite?
Social media.
It used to be Twitter. It's now Facebook. It used to be Twitter. Now Facebook. I think Twitter's community element has fell away completely.
I'm losing some traction on Twitter too, and I'm putting more attention on Facebook. I don't know. I haven't bothered to dig deeper why Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram is capturing the attention of everything. How 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 are you using Facebook or to get speaking gigs?
I'm not. You know what? This is the thing. I'm not using Facebook to get speaking gigs. What I'm doing is being more. And as such, people say, "Hey, you're Brad Burton. Oh, you speak, dear Brad. A friend of mine needs a speaker." Boom, that's it. If you go on there, "Hi guys, I'm a speaker." Fuck off. No one's interested, right? And this is where people go. You can't force it.
And I think, that's what I see most people making the mistake, and I do my best to not ask and just give. I just see a lot of people, hey, buy my stuff, and that's a turn off. But you still gotta ask for the sale at one point. That's just a given. But I think people need to have more value. What are three things you should be doing, right? You should be doing that you're not doing when it comes to business?
I'm doing everything. Everything's right. Everything's right at the moment. Everything's right. I've got everything aligned. Seriously, I'm a military machine. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Right, I am an out and out fucking Ivan Drago when it comes to this game. I've got everything tight. Everything's tight. And it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing how streamlined, fucking point, and on fire my squad is right now. I'm serious. I'm unbeatable. I'm the Floyd Mayweather of this game. Trust me.
It's a great feeling when that happens. Just right now I'm putting more attention in acquiring more clients. So maybe I'm going to go back to my notes, a few of the things that you said, and switch that inside, and I'm going to provide more value. Let me ask you, if you had one person following you every day, what would you have them do?
If I have someone follow me around every day,
Yeah.
I've got someone follow me around every day, and make certain that the machine is oiled. So therefore, they know I've got a business development manager, Pippa Hodge. She's amazing, right? And she's ahead of me, like pit team. That means that when I pull up at the pit stop, the wheels, the tires, everything's refreshed. Boom, I'm good to go. You know, I've got myself an entourage. This is the whole thing. This is what I'm saying. I'm taking this thing different. Yeah, this is not. No one's doing it like me, and I'll tell you the reason why. Right? I'll tell you the reason why. I don't have to make money with respect, right? And if you're prepared to walk away from a deal, you're more likely to get it, right? My business for networking looks after me. I'm good, so therefore, I take the gigs that I want to take, and people. So I've got my team all spread off. This is the thing. It sounds like I'm being arrogant. It's not, right? I've got it tight for the first time in like 11 years. It just goes together in the last 2 months. It's like, wow, if you've had this conversation beforehand, nah. But now it's tight.
Awesome. For networking, I heard in a previous interview, I think it was last year, that it's a possibility that you guys are going to take it to the States. Is that still happening?
Yeah. But I've got a team that run that. I've got a managing director now, and they're on that. So it's nothing to do with me anymore. I've stepped away from the organisation 1 year ago today.
Are you going to speak in the States? Any chance?
Not bothered.
No?
I don't disrespectful because I love my American cousins. Like seriously, I love America. I always go there at least once a year. Florida vacation. I'm there again in April, then again in August, then in California next year. I love America. But this is the thing. I'm not bothered. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. And it goes back down to what I said, right? My life is okay if I don't go and speak in America. My life's okay. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not chasing anything. I don't need to chase anything. Because this is what people are chasing, these dreams. I'm going to go to America and speak there, right? So you go speak to 1,000 people in America. Whilst there's 1,000 people in England that have never heard me speak, what is the point? So this is, I'd rather spend the time in America on a vacation with my family, walking down Main Street, USA.
Well, I will be in Florida, so yeah.
Where?
I'm going to Tampa.
No way. Okay. Well, we fly into Tampa every year. Every year, go to Clearwater. Every year.
So as of right now, we're leaving this summer, and I have a house over there, and so it's about 40 minutes from the airport, give or take, with traffic. Now, let me ask you, Brad. I did a search. I searched online, and you have more 5-star reviews on Amazon that Tim Ferriss or Gary Vaynerchuk or you name it. And these are people that are known in many industries, probably worldwide. All your books, 5-star. How you got to that point? How, do you bribe people? Do you, because I know, so the question is, it comes, I really want to know the answer to the question. It's amazing. It's great. It's good for business. It's great. So I'm curious how I know the content is good. I'm reading it and the content is good.
So here's the thing. Gary Vaynerchuk, busy guy. Tim Ferriss, busy guy. I had fuck all else to do other than to chase down reviews, right? So if people read my book and say it's amazing, I would then tweet them, hey, thanks for that. Can you leave me an Amazon review? Gary Vaynerchuk and Tim Ferriss are too busy to do that, right? And that's the reality of it, because they could fucking make it happen, but they don't ask, and therefore they don't get. And that's the difference. Is that I was so busy. Sorry, I had nothing better to do other than to chase Amazon reviews. So in terms of did I bribe anyone? No. In terms of is there a few fucking made up reviews? Absolutely. The first few reviews, 3 of them, 4 of them, my friends, my family, the rest are real. The rest, like the hundreds are real. The first few are my friends and family, no question. But the rest are absolutely real. And I think it's testament to that my writing style seems to captivate people. And people think I'm joking when I say that, I'm the highest rated. No one's got an average like me. No one's got an average like me. And this is what I'm saying. I engage people. I'm a person who's, this morning I woke up to 99 Facebook notifications. I have no idea if it's 199 or 999, because when you get 99, it doesn't go to 100. It just goes 99. That's it. And I answered every single one of those things. But there's going to come a point where I'm becoming so popular and so accessible that I need to withdraw a little. I've always wanted to be a man of the people, and I'm going to try and continue that as long as I can.
Asking. So, taking notes. In the future, when I publish a book, I gotta put a reminder that I will ask for the review and encourage people to review. Now, if I attend your May, which I'm planning to, the Brad Camp for writing a book, what is one thing that I can do to prepare myself before I get there?
Amazing question, Angel. My God, what an amazing question. I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you, every single time you think of something that is good, I want you to put it in your iPhone notes, right? So one of the ones that I thought of, the longer you run, the week you become, wow, that's really good. I wrote that down and I kept it. That then become a chapter in the book. So I want you to capture every single thought. Don't think, oh, I'll do it later. Nah, as soon as you remember, get it in there. And even if it doesn't make any sense, just single sentences, not big paragraphs, single sentences. Fix that and you'll be way ahead of the curve. Way ahead of the curve.
Now, let me ask you the same question with the Be a Better Speaker, your other Brad camp. What is one thing I can do before I attend that Brad camp that it will make it even a better experience?
So on your Apple, the notes, keep everything that you think of in there. That's it. Because so many thoughts that go through here that you throw away, we don't even bother computing, just let it fall away. No, I don't have it here. But my books, what I've done is my preparation for my books. What I've done with my books is everything see, why? So when I've got all these reviews, 5-star reviews, more than anyone else, it's because I've used the same when I speak. I've used the same when I wrote my books. So basically, it's like I'm downloading my brain. Like when I speak, I don't filter anything. I just be me. So what I'd say with your book and with your writing, if you decide to come Bolton, whatever, keep your notes. I'm telling you, the amount of thoughts that between now and May, you look at it and go, oh my God, all this that would have just been flushed down the toilet, that would have just been kept away. And that's what I've done. So for the last 7, 8, 9 years, I've kept notes when I think of something. So then what I do, I go through my list of all my notes and I go, I mark them on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being how cool is it, and 1 being shit. Anything under 8 gets thrown in the bin. Anything that's 10 forms part of my speaking. So I have a method that means that everything that comes out of my mouth is what I consider to be 8 or above. And by using that, that means all the shit has been thrown in the bin. So you never get to see that. So everyone who's reading my books, all they're reading is the hits. They ain't reading any of the shit that gets thrown in the bin. Because people, I don't put fingers to keyboards until I've done all my preparation. So this is what people are going to learn at Brad Camp. They're going to learn the secrets that I've used. And this isn't bullshit, own secrets like motivational speakers or freaking seminars. I'm telling you, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. I'm going to tell you the truth, the reality of what it's like to run a business, to write a book, and to become a motivator or to become a speaker, to find your voice.
Definitely notes, and it's an easy thing to do, but a lot of people forget to do it. And whether it's a journal or whatever it's a Apple Notes or whatever you're doing, yeah, there is your book. There is your book and your speech as well. What you want your legacy to be?
If I drop dead today, my legacy, I've already done it. I've changed the business networking game across the UK. Changed it. I've changed the business book game across the UK. Changed. I have changed the way that speaking is done in the UK. I've changed the speaking game. My legacy right now, my next thing, 11 years to the day when I started this business for networking, my next thing that I'm going to change the way that personal development is done in the UK. Because it needs to grow up, because it's been so self-serving. It's been, hey, come to a free seminar and then run to the back with your £4,000 check for a mastermind group. What a load of shit. But I'm telling you right now, I'm changing the game. The personal development game is about to get personally developed, and I'm right there. Trust me. And I'll tell you something, everything that I've ever said I'm going to do, whether it's for networking, tick, done. But it's writing 4 books. Right? But it's writing 4 books. Tick, tick, tick. When UK's number one motivational business speaker, tick, tick, tick. But when I say to you now what I'm doing with Now What the seminar, Now What .biz, B-I-Z, the website's being updated right now, as in right now. Now What .biz is my next project, my legacy for the next 11 years. I have changed the way that business is done in the UK. I'm going to develop the world.
You mentioned about people running to the back and paying for whatever they're pitching in the stage. That's the exact same way that is happening in the United States. Before I came to the UK in 2012, I went to plenty seminars, and they gave you enough information to leave you hungry, to sell you in the back a $4,000 package, and it happened all the time. So you're right, it needs to change because times change, and we need to provide better. You say you wanted to write 4 books, but let's assume that you were going to write a 5th one. What that book will be about if you write a 5th one?
be a better speaker. Right? That's if you said to me, go now, be a better speaker.
Yeah, but
Got there with it. I reckon I've got what it takes to be able to once again change the entire game. Change the game again.
well, if you publish that one, I definitely will be buying it. Now, besides your books, what is one book that belongs in everybody's bookshelf?
23 Steps to Achievement. 23 Steps to Success. This alternate title is by Robert J. Lumsden. 35 years ago, and I had a copy of this book, and it had no cover, and that's all I had, and it gave me hope. It gave me hope, and I think that book steered me as an individual. And it was only 20 years or 15 years later that I realised it spoke to me, and I tried to get hold of Robert J. Lumsden. I got a private investigator to find him. He's dead. He's gone. But that book, £3 on Amazon, you can buy it for £2.99. Robert J. Lumsden, 23 Steps to Success. Amazing man. Never found a photograph of him. Nothing. I've got nothing on him, but he changed my thinking, and I think he's responsible for the man that I am now.
You mentioned Brad-Cam, and you're just putting all your attention in the website and personal development. So that's what's next.
Yeah, now what? Now what.biz. So I've got a seminar called Now What. The next one's on April the 27th. It's 250 seat cinema, 40-foot screen, 149 quid. It is 127 quid, I think. Or I don't know. Right, it's on the website, early bird. But you know, I'm going for it. So this is no upsell. There's no, hey, come and do a free seminar. Oh, you're going to $4,000. There's no, hey, come along, and you know, we're selling nothing. There's no upsell. So you pay the price and you get 3 amazing speakers. Me, Ian Dixon, the former European Business Coach of the Year. You get Cos Crosley, the mindset technician. And also I've got an additional speaker, Craig Petter, the page #1 magic motivator. Amazing guy. So here's the thing. There's no upsell. There's no upsell. And people are going to be going, where's the upsell? There's fucking none. Right? And it's like, he's going to blow everyone's fucking head off. So I'm changing the game. I have a new model. Now I'm telling you about 2 steps ahead what I'm doing, right? But I know the 4 and 5 steps ahead. Let me ask you this. Why would anyone spend $4,000 on a course when you can spend £200 on the same course and get the same value? Nobody would ever do that. And that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to bring that high level, high quality, personal development, high production values. I'm going to do it better or cheaper. Watch what we do. I am telling you, and I'm daft enough to pull it off. You know, Angel, let me tell you, this is a movement. This is not just an event. This is a movement. I am going to torpedo the shit out of those fucking certainty salespeople. Sell the wank to people that can ill afford it. They're finished. I'm going to have to check under my car for bombs. Seriously, every morning. I'm going to have to get a bomb mirror and check.
You know, I'm definitely, if I get a chance, I will go to the Now What seminar. For sure, I'm going to go to the book and the better speaker one. Those are 2 things that I want to be a better speaker, and I want to write my next book, and I want to be better. So definitely I will go to those ones. But if I get a chance, I will definitely attend to the next one. Now, we have a question that it came through Facebook, and if you don't mind, I'm going to double check if anybody else has any other questions while we were chatting. I'm going to look the chat here. Okay, got it. I got 2 questions, if you don't mind asking or answering. So the first question is from a mutual friend. We know somebody, Elliot Reeves from Edinburgh, and he asked if you had to start your speaking career all over again from scratch, what is the first thing you will do?
I wouldn't change a thing. I think I genuinely think I've got the right recipe for it all. In that you've got to make mistakes. Understand that you've got to make mistakes. I think you think it's just you that's fearful, that you locking up and don't know what to say. You've got to do it. You've got to push through that situation. It's like falling off a bike. You know, you've got to do it. The only way you can learn how to not to fall off a bike is by falling off a bike. So I wouldn't change a single thing. Like, genuinely, I wouldn't.
The next one is from Melvin, and it came through YouTube. It says, "Hi, question for Brad and Angel. How do you manage your work-life balance? Making time for family, taking care of your household, and working on the business ideas and projects."
Great question. Thank you, Melvin. So 5 years ago, my work-life balance was to pieces. It was all over the fucking show. And I had a nervous breakdown. I unraveled mentally. But my priorities back then were 1, 2, and 3. Priority was 1, business, 2, family, 3, health. My priorities right now, as a result of that, have switched up. Priority is 1, health, 3, business. Now, I'm at the point where I can do that from a financial perspective. I couldn't have done that before. But what I do is if I can't be working, I'll go and play computer, walk the dog. But what happens is people believe, hey, 4 a.m. club, hustling, I'm grinding. Just fucking go back to bed. Go back to fucking bed. There's too much focus on nonsense about being busy, being busy. Stop that shit. Stop that shit. And actually understand this. Find time for yourself to keep your health right. It's so important because you have a multi-million business and be ill. And that's no good. Take us through family, those relationships. So what I do is I spend 100% of my time, like, for instance, I'd rather work 4 hours at 100% intensity than 8 hours at 50. So I give it 100% when I'm here. And that's the thing. So I might only work 4 hours a day, and then we'll spend the time with the family. So that's what I think.
No, you made a great point. I sometimes I caught myself getting distracted with doing things that I should not be doing. I need to put 150% really intense in a short time. So when the family gets here, I'm all theirs. And I think that's the number one distractions that we need to focus. So
Angel, I want you to do a bullshit audit, right? Do a bullshit audit of shit that you do that you know you shouldn't be doing, right? And then once you've got it written down, all the shit that you know you shouldn't be doing, stop fucking doing it. Simple, right? Stop wasting time with proposals that are going nowhere. Stop wasting time with fucking Toastmasters, right, which is going nowhere. You're kidding yourself. People have been there 12 years, never get you go there every single time, knowing that these guys ain't fucking doing it. Now that's cool. As long as you're happy. As long as you know deep down that you're comfortable doing that, fucking do it. But if actually there's a niggle there going, why the fuck are we doing this? Fuck. Because what we end up doing things for the price of a curry. We do things cheap. We do things cheap, and actually the biggest cost is to our time, which is what you're finding. Now these guys, don't get me wrong. What I'd say about that is the best thing about, as I said before, the best way to learn how not to die is by dying. So dying in front of Toastmasters with 12, 14, 16 people, and as long as you know you're doing that, that's cool, it's not a waste. But actually, if you go in there thinking you're going to get anything like in terms of paid gigs, you're fishing as wrong barrel. But if you go in there in terms of, yes, I want to learn how to die, fucking perfect. As long as you know where you're going and why you're going, it's cool.
You made a great point. So, and now that I'm here in the house, that I'm not going to the base to work, I realize that I have a lot of time, and I need to be intensive, and I need, the distractions, they gotta go away. I need to, yeah. I'm gonna do that BS book audit. I'm going to start looking, and definitely I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have a note here every time I get distracted. Every time something gets me off task, I'm gonna write it down.
And you know something, Angel, this is how I live my life. This is how I live my life. I go, what the fuck are you doing this bullshit for, Brad? It's having no value. You're not feeling it. What are you doing? And then when you do that, when you've done it a few times and sense check yourself, then all of a sudden, boom, that's it. When all of a sudden it all starts coming together, and you go, you know what? It's cool.
Brad, really, really appreciate your time. Besides bradburton.biz, any other place that you would like to people to visit or find you in social media?
Yeah, you know what? All roads lead to now what .biz right now. That's my next mission for the next 11 years. Is my GPS has been well and truly set for 11 years. For now what? But go to nowwhat.biz and be part of history. I'm going to change the personal development world forever. I am telling you, I'm going to do it. Right? And I'm telling you right now, officially, I am putting them on watch. Watch what I do. Watch what I do. If I had come into the space 11 years ago and said this, then yeah, I'd been crazy. But I've got a track record of making shit happen. 11 years down the line, watch what I do.
Awesome, Brad. I really, really, really appreciate your time. I got so much from you last time, and somehow before I leave, I will find a way to give you some love back and take people to the Brad camps and promote them all the time, because your speech, not only you captivated me when I saw you in London Real and over there. I watched your videos. I read the book. I'm not done yet, but it's good content. It's great stuff. No wonder why you have so many 5-star reviews. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me and answer these questions. And hopefully, we'll see you in April and May. I can't attend the one in March, but definitely in April and May.
Okay, well, thank you all the people who watched it.
Thank you. Bye.